Hello there. We have one more section of this wheel and we will be finished with equations. And I'm not going to cut these steps, I will just walk you through them, but it is this green section that we're working on. So I've already printed those for you. I knew you wouldn't want to copy those and I didn't want to write them. So we'll just take a look at the examples here. So zooming in, the only space left is this one right here. And I'm going to white that out and then paste in a new equation that is written in a way that I can solve it. So it is, let me get a small pencil for this one, 4x minus 3 plus 7 equals 23. So you draw the power t as best you can. And I do need to look at my steps, wouldn't you know it? I need to know how I worded this. Okay, distribute. That's very good. I needed to do that. So after you draw your power t, you need to distribute. We have to get rid of these parentheses right here. So I'm going to say 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Add 7 equals 23. So I just multiplied right here. Let me draw that in for you. 4 times x, that's 4x. Then 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. And that gets rid of my parentheses for me. And then you decide that this is the variable side and this is the constant side. Next step is to combine like terms, just like we did in that last video where we were combining variables, but it doesn't matter if they're variables or not. If they're like terms, you can combine them. So negative 12 plus 7 is negative 5. And you copy. Then I'll move the 5. Cancel and copy. Divide by the coefficient 4 to get x equals 7. So the step we're adding is that distribution right in here. This part is the new part. Okay. Let's look at another one of these up on your turn. Right here. And let me get rid of this one. And write in my new one. I'm looking at my wheel. This is 5 parentheses x minus 2 plus 1 equals negative x minus 3 in parentheses. And I want you to go ahead and squeeze that ghost 1 in there, right there after that negative sign. They don't get much worse than this one, guys. If you can do this one, you are a master of equations. So let's put the power t in. Do not make a decision about variables until you get rid of your parentheses. So we're going to say 5 times x, that's 5x. 5 times 2 negative is negative 10. And then let's do it over here. We have negative 1x. Then negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3. And don't forget to copy your plus 1. If you need to pause this video and really study that, that is fine. Stop the video, make sure you understand what I did there. Okay, then I can decide about variables because I have a 5x on one side, a 1x on the other side. The 5 is going to be the boss variable. It's bigger. So we're going to make that side the variable side and this side the constant side. Before I do that though, I need to combine like terms. I have a negative 10 and a positive 1. That's going to give me a negative 9. And copy. Then I'm going to move that negative 9. I want it to go to the constant side. So add 9, cancel and copy. And then I'm going to move that negative 1x over there with the boss. So we're going to add 1x to both sides. Cancel, copy. And then I'm not quite done. This is a beast. I'm going to divide that 6 coefficient through both sides. So I'm left with x and 2, and that is standardized. So let's go ahead and just make an equal sign. And there's the solution. So that monster problem comes down to be x is 2. If you can do that equation, you can do any of them. That one is the grand finale of equations. I can't think of anything that you will run into that we have not covered. So if you are following this one, guys, you have graduated in algebra. That's wonderful. Okay, let's do 10 more of them just to be sure. So I'm going to turn over. You can assemble your wheel. Make sure you watch the assembly video. And I'm going to turn on over to my blank sheets of paper. Let me be sure I have enough. I do. And let's label this. This is called, as you might not disagree with, multi-step equations. So I'll put in a space for that. And let's try some of these. Number 1. Let me find them where I wrote them down. There are 10 of them. So the first one is 2 parentheses x plus 6 parentheses equals 22. Go ahead and draw the power t. And I can go ahead and tell you this time that there is a variable on the left and a constant on the right. But we need to distribute that 2 through. So I'm going to say 2 times x is 2x. 2 times positive 6 is positive 12. So do your distribution and then copy. And if you like to, if you feel better once you distribute, cancel that out. You can always do that and get rid of it if it bothers you. Then I'm going to move the 12 over to the constants team. Cancel, copy, and then divide the coefficient is 5. Okay. Number 2. Remember to keep these very neat and organized. 6 equals -3 parentheses x plus 2 parentheses. So let's distribute. The -3 times x is -3x, and then -3 times +2 is -6. Go ahead and copy what's left, and I'll put my power T in there. I was doing my arrows first. So, all right, so this time the constant is on the left, and the variable is on the right. So I'm going to move the -6 by adding it to both sides and copy. And then I'm going to divide that -3, the coefficient, to get a -4 and an x. And I need to standardize that. X is -4. Okay, number 3. Sorry, I always forget to take that off Shape Tool. You would think at this point I would know better. I have -3, 4r minus 8 equals -36. So I'm going to distribute before I draw my power T so it'll all fit in there. So I have -3 times 4, that's -12 with an R. And then -3 times -8 is +24. And copy. Then I'll draw my power T and place variable and constant. So first I'm going to move that 24. So I'm left with -12r, and then -36 minus 24 is -60. Then divide by the coefficient, the -12, and I am left with r and +5 as my solution. Number 4. Is 24 equals 6 parentheses -x minus 3 parentheses. So let's distribute. 6 times -x is -6x. 6 times -3 is -18. And then copy. Draw the power T. And I have a constant on the left, a variable on the right. So I'm going to move the 18. Cancel. copy. And this leaves me with 42 on the constant side. Then divide by -6. Cancel. Copy. That's a -7. And then standardize. So the answer to number 4 is -7. Number 5, I have 75 equals 3 times -6n minus 5. So let's distribute first. Three times -6, that's -18 with an n. And 3 times -5 is -15. And then copy your 75. Go ahead and draw power t. Constants are on the left. Variables are on the right. And ask yourself what needs to move. So we've got plus 15, plus 15, and there is 90, and -18n. Divide by -18, and I'm left with n on this side, -5 on this side, and let's turn it around to standardize it. I promise there's a reason for that. I want you to already have that habit before we hit the next lesson. Number 6. Ooh, this one's a big one, so I'm not going to put it right there. Let me put him down here. Here we go. We have 6 parentheses, 6v plus 6, parentheses, minus 5 equals 1 plus 6v. Don't panic. We can do this. Baby steps. And the first baby step is right there. We have to distribute. So don't even worry about the rest of the problem. Let's do this part. 6 6s are 36, and that one has a V. And then 6 6s are 36 with no V. Then you copy the -5 and then this part. Then you draw the power t. Okay, I have to decide about variables. So I have a 36v on this side, and I have a 6v on this side. Who's the boss? The 36. So this is going to be the variable t, which means this will have to be the constant t. Also on this step, I'm going to go ahead and combine my like terms. The plus 36 and the -5. So I've got 36v's plus 31, and then on this side a 1 and a 6v. And it doesn't matter which one you move first. I'm going to go ahead and move the 31 because I'm looking at it. So let's move that over here. Cancel. 36v Negative 31 plus 1 is negative 30. And then plus 6v. Then I'm going to move, let me do this. We moved the 31, now we're going to move the 6v. So let's minus 6v minus 6v, and we're left with 30v and negative 30. And then I'm going to divide by the coefficient 30. And that is negative 1. It's already standard. V is negative 1. I would encourage you to stop this video. Go back, watch problem 6 over and over until you understand it very well. If you can do problem 6, you can do anything in algebra. This is as bad as it will ever get, and most of the time it's not going to be this bad. So number 6 is a good one to review many times until you are an expert at number 6. Okay, here is number 7. It's another difficult one. We have negative 4k plus 2 parentheses 5k minus 6 parentheses equals negative 3k minus 39. I would not draw the power t until you get rid of the parentheses. So you have positive 2 times positive 5, that's positive 10k. Positive 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. So get your distribution done and copy everything that needs to come down. And then draw your power t. Give yourself plenty of space to get that distribution in there. And I encourage you to draw the arrows because that helps you remember to do it to both terms, not just one. Now we still can't make a decision about variable and constant because we've got them on both sides. So let's hold off on that decision and go ahead and combine the negative 4k and the 10k. And that's going to give me 6k. Copy. And then you can tell that the left side needs to be variable. The boss is on the left. That 6 is bigger than the 3. So the boss variable is on the left, which will put the constants on the right. And I'm going to move that 12 over here under the constant. So I'm left with 6k minus 3k and then negative 39 plus 12. Be careful there, is negative 27. And then I'm going to move the 3k over to this side. So that leaves me with 9k and a negative 27. Need to divide by 9, the coefficient. So k is negative 3. That one is a beast also. In just a minute when we get finished with these, I will go back and show you where we started, what those equations looked like. Okay, number 8. Let's try to squeeze it in right here. I have negative 10 parentheses, no, sorry, negative 10n, I'm sorry, plus 3 parentheses, 8 plus 8n parentheses equals negative 6n minus 4. I'm checking, yes. So before I draw the power T, let's draw the arrows. And we have to do 2 of them, 2 sets of them. So I have 3 eighths. Positive 3 times positive 8 is positive 24. Positive 3 times positive 8 is positive 24 with an n. And then on this side I have negative 6 times 1n, and negative 6 times negative 4 is positive 24. So copy the other pieces that you haven't used yet. And we can draw, no, we can't. We have to combine like terms. We have a negative 10n and then a positive 24n. So that's going to give me a 14n plus 24 equals negative 6n plus 24. Now I can draw the power T finally. It's a big old T this time because there's a lot of stuff to put under there. 14n or 6n, which is the boss? This is the boss. And then the constants will all move to this side. And let's go ahead and do that first. I'm going to move that 24. Cancel. So I'm left with 14n, negative 6n, plus 0. Don't panic. It's okay. 0 is a number. So 6n plus 6n plus 6n on this side. Cancel. I have 20 n's and a 0. Divide both sides by 20. 0 divided by 20 is 0. 0 divided by anything is 0. It used to make me so mad to go through all that work and it be a 0. But I wanted to show you that sometimes it is. Not to be alarmed if you get a 0 there. So it can happen. It just used to irritate me when I did all that work and it was nothing. Okay, 2 more and then all of our work will be done. Number 9. Let me scoot down a little bit. I've got 10 parentheses x plus 3 minus parentheses negative 9x minus 4 parentheses equals x minus 5 plus 3. Now the first thing I'm going to do is put some ghost ones with those x's that are alone. I'm also going to put a ghost one right here. And this is incredibly important. That yellow one needs to go in there. Okay, so we're going to distribute. I have 10 times 1x, that would be 10x. And then 10 times positive 3 is positive 30. And then I have negative 1 times negative 9, that is a positive 9 with an x. then negative 1 times negative 4 is a positive 4. Stop the video. Go back and watch that if you need to get that distribution nailed down. And then I do need to copy the other half of the equation, which is over here. I need to combine my like terms, and there are a bunch of them. We've got the 10x that can be combined with the 9x. So that gives me 19x's on this side. I can combine the 30 with the plus 4, so that's plus 34. And then on this side, I can combine the 5 and the 3. So let's go ahead and get those. Actually, it's a negative 5 and a positive 3. So that'll leave me with a negative 2 on this side. So go ahead and combine all those like terms that you can. That'll help you simplify it. So then I can draw the power t. I have a 19x and a 1x, so that 19 is going to be the boss variable. And then we have a constant on the other side. So I'm going to move the 34 over to the constant team. And I'm left with 19x. And then on this side I have that 1x that I still need to move and a negative 36. So let's take off the x, cancel, and copy. Divide by the coefficient, which is the 18. Cancel and copy. So this one becomes a negative 2. That's the worst one we've done so far. That one is a monster. Okay, one more and we're going to stop. We have negative 11 plus 10 parentheses p plus 10 parentheses equals 4 minus 5 parentheses 2p plus 11 parentheses. Don't draw the power t until you do your distribution. Let me just zoom in there. Positive 10 times p is positive 10p. Positive 10 times positive 10 is positive 100. Negative 5 times positive 2 is negative 10 with the p. And then negative 5 times positive 11 is negative 55. And then I'm going to copy everything I didn't use. And there's the equal sign. Let's combine like terms. Let's get this negative 11 and this positive 100 to make 89. And then you've got that 10p out there. You can keep the positive if you want to. And then on this side, I need to combine my 4 and my 55 negative. So that becomes, there's the negative 10p minus 51. And now you can draw your power t. This is interesting. So you go to get your variable, you've got a 10 and a 10. But the one on the left is a positive 10. So I'm going to go with that one. This is the boss variable. It doesn't matter if you do it differently here and you go with the other one, you'll still get the same answer. So I just don't like negative numbers, and I'm trying to get rid of those. Then on this side, I'll move my constants. So let's move the 89. So I'm left with 10p and then negative 10p, and negative 51 minus 89, that is negative 140. Then I'll move the negative 10p. So I'm left with 20p on the left and negative 140 on the right. Divide by 20. And I'm left with p and negative 7. And it is in standard form. So let's go ahead and write the solution right there. Well, so on this last page, I only had room for 2 problems. Notice that that nice Christmas tree shape is still there. That's a good thing. But let me take you back just a little bit to the very first one of these that we did, if I can find it. Here it is. Remember that one? That's where we started. One-step addition. And at that time you might have been thinking, I will never ever get this. This is so complicated. And it was, because it was new. And we went through subtraction equations, and then multiplication equations, and division equations. And then we went into two-step equations and separated variables equations and multi-step equations. And that's where we have finally ended up. You have come a long, long way, and you should be very proud of that. If you still are having questions, that is okay. That's perfectly normal. Contact your instructor. Let him or her know that you need some help. Bring the question, the actual question that you're having trouble with, and show that to your instructor, and he or she can help you. All right, before we leave this behind, you and I have one more little job to do, and it's called the 42 algebra problems. And there's no way I'm going to put that in this video. We will start those in the next video, and that's where they're just all mixed in together. So we will take a look at those and practice your skills a little bit more. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.